What is up, everybody? I am super pumped to be on this live today with my buddy Alex Piak. How you doing, Alex?
Doing fantastic. How you doing, man?
Doing awesome. So today we are going into what's working now in real estate marketing 2019. So I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, man, this is obviously a hot topic, right, in both of our industries. People are always trying to stay cutting edge, trying to figure out, where they should be investing their money, what's working on lead generation, what's getting the best ROI. So I'm excited, man. This will be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And so, on my channel, a lot of people know me. I'm a lender. I'm really big into video, into marketing, into getting the message out. But not all of the followers that I have know you. So tell us a little bit about your background, what you got going on, and then we will kind of explain what this show is going to be about for the long term before we get going.
Cool, man. Yeah. So quick background, right? This is the part I actually don't enjoy. Hate kind of focusing in on me, but man, my background, I've been a licensed real estate agent for over 15 years. I got licensed really to help out my dad, man. He was running a small office with two agents out of our basement. He had converted it to an office. And the two agents were doing a couple of sales each. And it got to the point where vendors would be knocking on your house door to kind of give you their brochures. So he was like, man, I got two kids. I'm going to go to an office. So he decided to get into a small little commercial spot. And at this time, man, I'm going to college full time. I'm working full time at a sporting goods store to kind of make some cash. And we were sitting together at a Dunkin' Donuts. We were going to a flip property. And we were talking about this new office. And I said, man, I'd love to help you. But I know in real estate, you can't do anything without a license. Like, you can't talk to anybody. You can't talk about price,
right,
house. So I said, what if I got a license? And the look on his face is like, is that really what you want to do? You're going to school full time? And literally next week I was in class, got my real estate license, been selling real estate ever since. He went to the road of flipping homes, and that was his passion. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed the consumer side. Okay. You got to stay a lot cleaner, yeah. And you can make more money. So I enjoyed it, man. And through my process and my journey, I had opened multiple real estate franchises. I was Remax's youngest franchise owner at 22 years old.
Wow.
Went independent, kind of grew that. My, small little brokerage, right? My whole town was 30,000 people. It only sold 200 homes a year. So we're not talking big, but, my little team was doing 100 transactions, damn close to it every single year. My average agent was 2.5 times more productive than the biggest office in town. Their average agent was selling 2 homes a year, 3 homes. My average agent was selling 10 plus homes a year. So,
nice.
That was kind of my niche, right? I was helping agents become really productive and outpace what the average agent is doing. And through that journey, man, I started to involve and really wanted to take my business to a whole nother level. So I found a coaching mentor, and that's kind of where everything changed for me. Grew my business, decided I was moving to Texas, focusing on the coaching and training, because that's what changed my life. It's kind of what brought me here, was having that leadership, that mentorship. And man, it's been a fun ride. Built a brokerage from the ground up here with a couple partners. We did almost 300 deals our first 12 months for $2.3 million. And my job was coaching, training, recruiting, and getting the agents we brought into this brokerage to just exponentially grow what they are used to. I remember one guy, great guy, his best year in real estate was 10 deals. Mm-hmm. His first year with us, he closed 36, right? 3x'd his business.
I bet he was pumped.
He was super pumped, right? And that was my passion. I realized I could have a way bigger impact on a ton of agents, and it wasn't about me selling 100, 200 homes a year, because imagine if you could help 50 agents each sell 50 homes, right? Your reach becomes exponential. And man, that's kind of been my journey. And then recently, as you know, I kind of put everything that I built, my whole systems process, wrote my book on the entire, order sequence, blueprint of how we did it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And the whole reason I wanted you to share that, so people knew your background, what you have going on, and ultimately lead into why we're doing this live show. We're going to do this weekly. I think we're going to pick Thursdays at noon. So you're going into the weekend. You're going to be showing houses. You're going to be, hopefully having listing appointments. And we want to get you pumped up, fired up to go out there and make more, sales, make more connections with people, and then have strategies to do so. So over the following weeks, today we're going to have a big kind of broad overview of what's working now marketing, but then we're going to break this down into small chunks over the next year, every week going into a specific topic about marketing, about sales, about lead gen, about systems, about putting everything into place that has made us successful, and share it with you guys. And if you implement, you should have some pretty good results.
Absolutely, man. One of the things I realized is if you want a specific result, right, go find people who are having that result and copy them, model them, right? It's the fastest way to success. It doesn't make sense to trial and error, trying to figure stuff out on your own, right? All you're doing is adding time from where you are to where you want to get. There's shortcuts, right? Even if you just learn the things to not do, that's going to literally bring things to where you want to be.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's where I want to start. You've worked and you've built a team, and you have a lot of numbers and a lot of data to back you up. What was working in 2015, 16, 17, maybe 18 that's just not working now, that people need to just either lower the amount of effort they're doing into those things or just completely cut them?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. Because it goes back even further. Think about Zillow. I think they came into existence in 2006. Right? They're a monster now, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a 10, 12-year-old business. Mm-hmm. Right? So when I got into real estate, I ran newspaper in magazines. Nobody's doing that now. Right. And I would say 2 years ago, Facebook was killing it. Oh, yeah. Up until last year, you could start to target people who were likely to move, that had a specific income. You could go dial in exactly who you wanted to target. Oh, yeah. Well, all of that got ripped out. Mm-hmm. And people are like, oh, now what do I do, right? Because now it's not easy. So I would say, everything works if you know how to get the best result out of it. And everything we talk about marketing, Ryan, this is what it comes down to. Does your message resonate with your target market? Period. Mm-hmm. So does direct mail work? Absolutely, if you do it right. But if you don't do it right, you can send out 5,000 postcards and get no response. Right. But there's people today, and there's still people doing open houses that get great results. Right. There's still people who do the Popeye Brian Buffini method by referral that get great results.
Yeah, I know a few of them.
Yeah, it's consistency, it's having a system, a process, and following through. But there are things, right? Obviously, we're not going to go run a lot of newspaper today. So today, you have to understand the consumer is on digital and social media, right? So I think Facebook's got 2.5 billion people on.
You got to go where the eyeballs are at, but you got to meet them with their expectations, right?
Right. You got to know what they're looking for. So I just did a Facebook Live the other day, and I talked about it. If you're targeting sellers, you got to know what sellers want. They want to sell their home for the most amount of money, period. Then they want it sold within a specific time frame, and they want to do it with the least amount of hassle. Right. So if your marketing and your marketing message kind of talks about those three things, you have way more congruency, and you're going to kind of pique people's interest and be like, oh, this is, I've been thinking about selling. That kind of interests me. And that's how you start to generate more interest and attract people to you versus having to chase leads down.
Yeah, it makes total sense. And, I really like what you said about everything works. So what it comes down to is, you watching this right now have to determine what you enjoy doing, what you like doing, what your strengths are, and double down on those strengths. If you just do not want to get in front of the video camera and do video, you just absolutely hate it, will not do it, it's not in your ballpark, then at this time, I would say don't do it. Even though it's super hot and it works, if you hate it, it's going to show through on your marketing.
100%. But you do kick-ass video. I see you all the time on my Facebook feed. And there's something to be said about that because, and you can speak on this, were you as good on your first video as you are now?
No. No, I definitely was not good, but I didn't hate it. And that was my thing. I'm not telling you to not do it. And if you're bad at it or think you're bad at it, one, you're probably not as bad as you think you are. People are going to perceive your stuff a lot differently than you do.
Yeah.
But if you just despise it, then don't do it. But let me dig into the video stuff. I've been doing video for about 10 years now. And my first ones were horrible. The quality was bad, the audio was bad, the content was bad, the flow was bad. I'm trying to read scripts, and I think that's where everybody starts. They start there. So you got to start somewhere. And same thing that you said about having a mentor is if you really want to get into video, which I recommend you do, if at all possible, is go and find somebody that can help you. They can help you with how to structure it, what equipment to use. And what I do for all of my agent partners that just aren't comfortable on video is I go do it with them. Because if you have someone to talk to, like Alex and I are doing here, it's a lot easier to riff off of each other than just stare into that little circle in the camera that's lifeless. It's odd. And, I still am not used to just staring right into that thing, and it's been 10 years.
Yeah, every 3 seconds I keep looking at my computer screen so I can see you, because I feel like I'm looking in your eyes.
Right.
And I'm like, Dan, he sees that I'm looking down, not in my camera. So,
right.
Yeah, man, you're spot on. But the thing is, and I think this is really important for both industries, there are things that you are not going to be comfortable with. Video, picking up the phone, and like in my industry, agents, the overwhelming amount of people have this reluctancy about the phone, right? It scares the shit out of them.
Yeah.
But you can't be a secret agent and do the amount of business you want to do, right? I think this goes even further. Why are you doing this, right? What's your why? And I know that's so cliche. What's your why? Well, what's your income goal, right? What do you need to make? Because if nobody knows you do mortgages, you sell real estate, you're going to fall short, right? So you have to, at some point, start to do the things that make you feel a little uncomfortable, because that's where the magic is, right? I don't like making phone calls, but I've made so many prospecting calls to for sale by owners, expireds, home evaluation leads, buyer leads, that I've built a callus to where, if they tell me to go pound sand, okay, I'm on to the next one, right? It becomes a game. But I understand that fundamentally in real estate, my income is in direct proportion to the number of people that I speak to about real estate.
Yeah.
Period.
On a daily basis.
Daily.
If you're not on the phone talking to somebody new daily, you're not going to survive in this business.
Nope. I was just talking to somebody and I said, the number one metric you can have in your business, and this goes for both of us, how many offers are we making to our clients to meet with us face to face? How many times are you making an offer for a seller for you to come view their home? How many times are you making an offer to a buyer to come into your office to do a buyer consultation? So if you're not making offers, right, in marketing, let's relate this to marketing. If we were selling a product, how many times are you offering somebody your product? Because if you don't ever offer it, no one's going to buy it.
Yeah, I agree. And, someone like a lender where usually we're not in person as much, it's that phone. Getting them how many times can you get them on the phone? And it took me a long time to do this. Instead of going and having a sales call, I think about trying to meet a new friend. And once someone taught me how to do that, the whole game of it switched. It's not that it's still not scary. I mean, you got to gear up every day when you go to talk to strangers. I mean, you got to be a very special individual to just be like, man, I cannot wait to go call a bunch of strangers, right? Yeah. But if you switch your mentality into hey, I'm going to go make some new friends today, and instead of being just very to the point hey, where are you looking? Okay, how much are you wanting to put down? All right, where do you work? These are all questions I ask, right? It's just more of getting them excited, oh, this is so exciting. You're going to be buying a new house. What has you wanting to buy a new house? What's going on? And boom, they start spilling the beans, and then it's easy peasy from there.
Yeah. Well, what you're doing is you're building rapport and you're making the whole process about them, right?
Right.
And if you do that, we'll always win, because let's face it, people love to talk about themselves, right? And it's how to win friends and influence people. When you go through the whole strategy, it's ask questions. If you are the person asking the questions and the other person is just spewing and they love to talk, they're going to walk away from that and be like, damn, that guy Ryan is real interesting. And you're like, I didn't say a word. All I did was ask you questions. You talked the whole time. Right. But that's the whole strategy in the book. So I love that. But I think you're spot on, man. You got to have conversations. And, kind of going back to what's working in marketing, right? Right now, it is video. Like, there was something that I saw that by 2020 or 2022, something like Facebook anticipates 85 to 90% of its entire news feed to be video.
Yeah, it makes sense. And the data I'm seeing is I set up 2 different ads for the same thing, essentially. I did a video about why you can't trust Zillow. And
wait, you can't trust Zillow?
Oh. I'll link the article when we're done. But so I make the video, and I made a video ad of that video, and then I linked to my website where I wrote an article for the people that want to read. So you would think if I did a link ad, so like an image ad, where people could go right to the website and either watch the video or read it, you would get a better click-through. Well, now no. Before, you put a video out, you're not going to get much click-through to the website. I was seeing at least half the cost to get clicks to the website, and now once they're on the website, they're looking at my brand, they're watching my video, they're reading the article that I wrote about that video, they're going and seeing what I promise to my clients and how I do business differently. There's a mortgage calculator on there. So all those things are adding up. But last year, if I would have put that same ad out, I could almost guarantee you that it would have been the other way around. That image ad would have outperformed that video ad in terms of click through the website, hands down.
Yeah. And guys, just to take it to another level, and I don't want to kind of geek out about Facebook. Like, that's my lane, right?
It is. You have a whole course on it. We'll talk about it in a second, but
I teach people how to do it, but here's the cool thing. You can retarget anybody who watches your video. You can retarget as somebody from 10 seconds into your video all the way up to somebody who consumes 95% of your content. And when somebody at least watches your video, they have some type of an interest in what you're talking about. Now, instead of spending thousands of dollars, you go spend $5 a day retargeting the people who've watched a previous video. And that's how you build a brand. That's how you start to dominate your market. That's how you become known, right? Because people are going to say, I see you every day. You're following me everywhere I go. Well, and it's on purpose.
And that's what I hear. Even just my organic stuff, because I try to post daily. They're like, you're everywhere. So then I'm top of mind. I mean, ultimately, that's what you're trying to do is you're picking an area. And since you are not a conglomerate, most of the people watching this, they don't have $1 million a year ad budget.
Right.
Pick a zip code if your budget's low, and you own that zip code. You serve ads to that zip code every day, all day for the next year, even if it's $1 a day for the content and $1 a day for the retargeting. You have to keep it going. So let's say you do hit a rough patch and maybe you didn't close a deal. You better not turn that ad off. You better just knock it down to the minimum spend that you can do. Because as soon as you stop putting yourself out there, well, guess what? Those conversations don't come. I've been there. I've made that mistake.
Yep.
I think we all have.
It's consistency, man. And that's, the big takeaway today, consistency. Marketing works if you've got a good message and you do it consistently, right? Video works if you do it consistently and you're putting good content out there. And let's face it, we all have good content. As much as we're scared to get on video and talk, if you're in real estate, you know more than the consumer. If you're in mortgage, you know more than consumer. Just think about, here's a great idea. Take 30 minutes, write down the top 50 questions you've been asked repetitively in your career.
Yes. Not about what you want to tell them, but what they're asking you.
Yes. If you've got a buyer who always asks you as an agent the same 10 questions, or a seller, or a FSBO, or an expired, write those down and answer. As a lender, what questions do your people always have when you meet with them, right? Take those 10, 15, 20 questions, answer them on video. And then now you've got a content library. And if you want to know what works, well, you can use Facebook to market it. You can cut them down to 60 seconds and put them on Instagram. Instagram is going to target your younger audience, right? This is great. I was doing a training for a company in Arizona, and they said, our clientele is older, so your Facebook strategy is not going to work. I'm like, it'll kill on Facebook because the demographic is older. It's not kids anymore. It's older, people, including grandparents, who get on there to FaceTime. Like the older generation can do all of that tech stuff, FaceTime, Facebook. So you'd be crazy not to put your content out there.
And we're talking about ads. Even though they took a lot of our targeting away, there are strategic ways to really dial in, and it might actually be better for us people that are savvy, because all the people that could just click a button are gone. Or hopefully they're gone because they're not willing to put in the time and the effort. And going from that into what you do, I know you have like a whole course that you do that teaches how to collect leads from Facebook. Are you still seeing that doing those direct lead type of ads on Facebook are still working, or have you changed your strategy in 2019?
Dude, I love this question. So I've got a little ad agency, and I'll work with like 15 to 20 agents. I mean, I'm a single guy. I can't do much more than that, where I'll actually run their ads for them. So I'm looking on my other monitor here. One of my clients in Weatherford, Texas, small area, Kathy, I'm running one of her properties. We launched it January 30th, so yesterday. Not even 24 hours, dude. She's got 16 full opt-in leads. Name, phone number, email. Her cost per lead, 62 cents per lead.
Wow.
I've spent $9.89. That's it. So the stuff is working. Now, I know how to target. There's some advanced strategies. Like you said, when the easy stuff went away, it actually made Facebook more attractive for lead generation for professionals who kind of know what they're doing, because it wasn't just like, hey, Facebook, go run my ad in front of everybody who's likely to move in the next 6 months, all right?
Right.
That went away. So now you have to understand who your customer is. Where are they searching? What do they like? And things like that. And then you can start to build these audiences.
Right.
But this is where it becomes fun, because once people take action on your ad or watch your video, you know they have intent. And then when you just run future ads to the people who've already raised their hand, watched your video, clicked on an ad, you are building the best quality audience. And that's where people don't realize. It's like, well, what do I do? Well, hey, even if you just start with a wide open, like no criteria, go spend $100. And the 2,000 people that interact and engage with your ad, well, they engaged for a reason. Right. Now go spend another $20 just to the 2,000 people that engaged and run another ad directly to them. Eventually what you'll do is you'll build your own custom audience that's highly engaged, thinking about buying and selling real estate.
Right. And if you have a large Rolodex, I mean, this is a kind of one of those high-level tips, but if you've sold 100, 200, 300, 400 houses, you can take that list of individuals and make a custom audience to find people like them.
Yep.
And so I know that that's a strategy that I use, and I'm sure you're using. It's an advanced strategy, but it's something that you could work your way into when you get into Facebook marketing and things like that. So
100%. I
mean, that's what I'm excited about, is we're going to dive into all this stuff in way more detail, and these are going to probably be a lot shorter in the future because we're going to have one topic, we're going to bang that out, but we just want people to know what this is, what it's about, what they're going to be receiving every week. And we're just excited to share it, and we just want to help other people grow. And this is just an awesome, field of work to be in. And a lot of people aren't doing well when they should be.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what it is, man? It's people are very uncertain about what works, right? They're almost paralyzed because they don't know what to do next. And that's what I'm excited. That's why I really enjoy coaching and training agents, is because there are things that work, and there are certain things that work even better. And if you can shortcut and the systems, the processes, and strategies, you can have an amazing business, right? If you just take the guesswork out. And I'm excited to kind of dig deep and obviously add as much value to our communities as possible. And, in the future, my goal and my desire is to provide some things that they can implement quickly into their business, not long-term strategies and systems and crazy things you can extract right now. Go
out there and do it, and get ready for the weekend. Process. Exactly. Awesome. Well, I'm excited for this journey that we're going to take everybody on and that we're going to go through together. Alex, thank you so much for being on live with me today. And we're going to be back same time next Thursday. So mark your calendar and have an awesome week. Go and sell some houses this weekend.
Awesome, guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.